Yes. Good afternoon, dear students. Yesterday, as I was engaged in doing this online class, all of a sudden there was an abrupt stop. It was all because this system with what I am operating did not cooperate. It got stuck, so there was no any other way than to discontinue. So today once again I have come on the line. I hope that you have your textbooks. Please come to the same page number 10 and same paragraph, the long paragraph in the middle of the page number 10 in your English textbook. Yes. What happened? The Minister of Justice got the criminal brought to him, means he was summoned to the Minister of Justice, and the minister is asking the criminal why he did not run away, or why he would not run away to a place wherever he liked. Also he added that there was nobody to question him, even the prince would not mind. To this, what the criminal response is more important. Yes, he is telling, the criminal is giving an explanation why he did not want to run away. This is important. Yes. He said, I dare say the prince would not mind. See how clearly he has understood the state of mind of the king. He did not go anywhere. All these days, nearly 1 year, he was kept inside the four walls. Though so he knows that the king would not question and would not send any police to take any action against him if he runs away. But he is continuing his questioning. But I have nowhere to go. See, he did not like to go to his native town, nor did he want to go anywhere. What can I do? This is the question what the criminal is asking the minister. What can I do? Further he says, you have ruined my character by your sentence, the death sentence, by your sentence, and people will turn their backs on me. Once you decided to cut my head off, it was the decision or it was the punishment declared on me, but you did not exercise it. You did not bring it into practice. It was declared and was not brought into practice. It was not exercised on me. Then, if I go to my native town, they know what I am, and they know what I may be. They know how to recognize me. In their eyes or in their opinion, I am a murderer. I am a criminal and sentenced to death and returned from the jail. People do not respect me. People do not like me to join with them. Besides, I have got out of the way of working. As I have been in the prison for nearly 1 year, I have stopped working. I did not work anywhere, and working has become out of my way of living. You have treated me badly. This is the complaint what he is making. You have treated me badly. It is not fair. What you did is not good. Further he says, in the first place, when once you sentenced me to death, you ought to have executed it. Yes, this is very important sentence. once when you announced the judgment that my head should be cut off, that ought to have taken place. But you did not do that. You failed in exercising the decision you took. But you did not do that. Means you did not exercise the judgment. That is one thing. That is where you failed. That is the first complaint the criminal is making. Then, I did not complain about that. When you failed to exercise the death sentence, I did not complain against you. Then you sentenced me to imprisonment for life. Jivavadi Shiksha, imprisonment for life. Then you sentenced me to imprisonment for life, and you put a guard to bring me my food, etc. But after some time, you took him again. Means you drew him. You drew him. He was taken back. You drew him. You took him away again, and I had to fetch my own food. See, I had to fetch my own food. Then who to fetch? Who should have to fetch? Here, the criminal seems to have a prestige in going to the king's kitchen, holding the dinner plate. He treats it inferior to his position. He says, I had to go myself to fetch my food. Then whom did he want to go? According to him, they ought not have withdrawn the guard. According to him, they ought not have done that. Here, he seems to think that he is insulted. He is suffering from the insult whenever he goes to the king's kitchen for meals. He seems to think it is inferior to his position. Then again I did not complain. For that also, when every day it happened me to go to the king's kitchen for food, but I did not complain. But now, actually, you want me to go away. How surprising it is. The news is shocking to him. He is not finding any pleasure when the Minister of Justice asked him or put this idea of running away. He is not happy. Instead, he is feeling shocked. But now, you want me to go away. Huh? There is an explanatory mark at the end of this sentence. I cannot agree to that. What does he not agree to? To run away anywhere. I cannot agree to that. To what does he not want to agree? To the suggestion made by the Justice Minister. You may do as you like. Whatever you may do. You may take any action against me. Whatever you may do. But I am not prepared to run away. But I won't go away. This is what the criminal finally told to the Minister of Justice. Then, please look into the next following paragraph. What was to be done? This is the problem of the king and the problem of his ministers and the problem of the councillors. What was to be done? How to get rid of the criminal? This has become a $1 million question to the king as well as to his ministers and councillors. What was to be done? ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಇನ್ನೇನಪ್ಪ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ, ಹಾಗಾದರೂ ಇದರಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರೋದು. This is their problem. Once more the council was summoned. See the sentence, look at the sentence. Passive form, passive voice. Once again I am asking you to underline such sentences wherever you come across all through this lesson. Take a pencil and underline such kind of sentences which are in passive form. Once again the council was summoned. What course could they adopt? ಏನು ದಾರಿ ಅನುಸರಿಸ course, method or way. What course could they adopt? ಏನಪ್ಪ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಯಾವ ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ಅನುಸರಿಸೋದು, ಏನು ವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ಅನುಸರಿಸೋದು. Here the word course means way, simply way. The man would not go. ಅವನಂತೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Yes, it is sure. It is taken for granted. What is taken for granted? The man would not go. Yes. They reflected and considered. They reflected. See how the word is used. They looked at each other. The members who were present in the meeting looked one another. They reflected and considered, means they thought and thought of it. Consider what to do, what way could we follow. The only way to get rid of him was to offer him a pension and send him out. A question may be asked here. What was the only way left for the king and his councillors or ministers to get rid of the criminal? What was the only way? To sanction a pension and send him away. The only way to get rid of him was to offer him a pension. Yes. And so they reported to the prince about this. This was their plan, to offer him pension and send him away, to release him from the prison. And this was what they decided, and they wanted to bring the same to the notice of their king. There is nothing else for it. Means there is no other way except this. This was the only way. No any other way than to grant a pension and send him out. We must get rid of him somehow. Somehow. ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಿ, ಹೇಗಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಿ, ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಿ, ಹೇಗಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಿ, ಇನ್ನು ಲಾಭ ಇರಲಿ, ಇನ್ನು ಹಾನಿ ಇರಲಿ, ಅದೇನೇ ಇರಲಿ. Somehow they want to get rid of the problem. The sum fixed was 600 francs. This was for a year. Because already they have an experience of having spent 600 francs to keep the criminal. Yes. 1 year has been passed, and within this duration of 1 year, 600 francs has already been spent to manage him, to maintain him, and by this they have got a calculation. It has been worked out. They need 600 francs every year. Yes, the sum fixed was 600 francs, and this was announced to the prisoner. Means the same was informed to the criminal. One of them came and told what the councillors had decided about him, and on listening to them, what is his response? Well, said he, ಆಯಿತು, ಹಾಗೆ ಆಗಲಿ, ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು, well, said he, I don't mind, see the condition he puts, I don't mind so long as you undertake to pay it regularly. That is a condition. Once they sentenced him to death, but it was not exercised. That is one thing where they failed. Secondly, they sentenced him to life imprisonment. Now they are not ready to maintain him till his last breath. Now they want to get rid of him. So thirdly, they have altered it to granting pension. But what is the condition the criminal is putting upon them? He is ready to go out of the king's domains, provided that they should not fail to follow at least this last one. They failed in the first one, death sentence, it was not exercised. Secondly, they failed in maintaining him in the prison. This is the third offer, that they want to sanction a pension. But what is the opinion of the criminal? He is ready to go out of the king's domain, but provided that they should not fail in at least in this third offer they have made. So he said, so long as you undertake to pay it regularly, if they fail to sanction, if they fail to give him the fixed amount at the end of every month, he would come back and he would question them why they stopped giving the pension. On that condition, I am willing to go. Underline the sentence. What was the condition that the criminal put to leave the king's domains? That they should not fail to give the pension monthly. So, the matter was settled. With this, the matter was settled. Probably, they may have given him in a writing. They may have given an undertaking. Probably, they may have given him an undertaking promising him that they won't fail to give him monthly pension every month. He received 1/3 of his annuity. The word annuity is derived from annual. Annuity, varshika. So every year he was to be given 600 francs. Every year he was to be given. So what would they have to give him a monthly? 50 francs. Monthly they would have to give 50 francs for 12 months. So with this he is prepared to go. He received 1/3 of his annuity in advance. 1/3 of 600. What would be 1/3 of 600? 200 francs. He took 200 francs in advance. With this, 200 francs means a pension of 4 months. 4 months together. It is given well in advance. He received that and left the king's domains. He went out of the king's border. He crossed the border of Monaco. It was only a quarter of an hour by rail. By rail means by train. He did not have to travel hours together or days together, because you have already learnt how large the landed area is of Monaco. You have learnt all that. Within 15 minutes, he could cross the landed area, the area of Monaco, and reach the border, and further he could reach his village where he had come from. What did he come for? Before he murdered, why did he come to Monaco? Before he murdered, to play roulette. It was what he had come for. But after that, he had indulged in this unlawful matters. He had murdered somebody, and this is the story what you read all this time. Then, it was only a quarter of an hour means 15 minutes, 1/4 of an hour. Quarter of an hour by train, and he emigrated, means he crossed. He emigrated means he crossed, and he settled just across the border, border. somewhere at the border of Monaco. He settled there. And what does he do there? He bought a little piece of land, probably 1 or 2 acres of land. He may have purchased a little piece of land, then started market gardening. Means whatever he grows in the garden, he himself takes it to the market and sells it. He doesn't give it to some others, to the others merchants. He himself market gardening, and now he lives comfortably. Yes, he has no problem, any problem. He lives comfortably. He always goes at the proper time to draw his pension, monthly pension, whatever the Prince of Monaco has promised, 50 francs monthly, 600 francs every year. So, at the end of every month, at a proper time, he goes and he draws the amount. Having received it, after taking the money, he goes to the gaming tables. He has not stopped it. Yes, he wants enjoyment. He preserves certain amount of money out of the pension, that whatever he gets at the end of every month. He goes to the gaming tables, stakes 2 or 3 francs. Stakes means ಜೂಜಿಗೆ ಆಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನು ಇಡೋದು, ಜೂಜು ಆಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನು ಹಚ್ಚೋದು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ಮೊತ್ತವನ್ನು ಆಡಲಿಕ್ಕಂತಲೇ ಇಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನು. He stakes. How much? 2 or 3 francs out of the money, whatever he gets, 50 out of the pension amount. Sometimes he wins, sometimes he loses. To him, the winning is neither a profit, and to losing, to him it is not a loss. He does it just for a sort of enjoyment, for a little duration. He goes there, he stakes some 2 or 3 francs in the game. He plays it not to earn, nor even to lose, just for enjoyment. Yes, and then returns home. After playing, he may have either won or he may have lost. It is not important. He returns with the remaining amount of money. He lives peaceably and well. See how the murderer is living peacefully even after he has murdered. One day he murdered, but today he is living happily. Really, he ought to have been, his head ought to have been cut off, or he would have been put in the prison till his last breath. But the case is different. Today, he is released from the jail and he is living happily, and such things are possible only in a democracy. This is what the writer wants to make a comment. Yes, this is the black side of, this is the dark side of democracy. Such things are possible in democracy, and especially where the authority, the person who has authority should be potential. He should not be weak. He should have to be strong. This is the moral of the story. Yes, in every house, in our society, the parents are the leading persons. Maybe father, or maybe mother, or sometimes both, or sometimes anybody of them. They should have to be strong. If they are not strong, if the father is not strong, or if the mother is not strong, To be simple, if the parents are not strong, what may happen? At the very first step, the children won't remain under control. They like to do and they like to live as and how they want. That's why a father should have to be strict. A mother should have to be strict. If he or she fails in controlling his or her own children, the family gets out of their hands. Yes, the children won't like to follow the principles of the family. They want to be free. They fall into evil habits. This is what is going on today in our society. Every parent has no time to keep control over one's own children because they are busy in maintaining the families. They go out to earn to feed the children. But in the meanwhile, these children for whom their parents are earning, for whom their parents are sweating out, they are misusing the efforts of their parents. And suppose there is a bank. And the manager shall have to sanction loans to his customers. While sanctioning the loans, he should have to take his customers, whoever taking the loans, how serious it is to take loan and what would happen if they fail to pay back the amount that whatever they pay. And if the manager himself is not strict, the customers after taking the loan, they won't return. They abscond. What would happen one day? One day the bank closes and those who have deposited in the bank would be on roadside. What is the reason? Because the manager was not strict. So everywhere, maybe school or college, the principal should have to be strict. The teacher should have to be strict. The lecturers should have to be strict. In a hospital, the dean should have to be strict. Because otherwise the nurses begin to rule. Anything may happen. The very patients themselves begin to rule the hospital. They will be the masters of the hospital. And at home, parents should have to be strict. You see, and the society, the laws should have to be strict. The laws should have to be strict. If there are no laws, and if there are no rules, what would be the state? What would be the state? It won't be a human society. It won't be a human society. This is what is going on in Monaco. So finally, the writer, the author, Tolstoy, gives one statement. Look at that. It is a good thing that he did not commit his crime in a country where they do not grudge expense to cut a man's head off or to keep him in prison for life. It is good that he murdered in a country where the king was not efficient. That much. Where the king efficient, what would have happened? His head would have been cut off, or he would have been kept in the prison till his last breath. This did not take place. Instead, he was released, and today he is living peacefully. Again, he is coming to Monaco at the end of every month to take his pension, and after taking, he goes to the same gaming house and he takes a little amount of money and he enjoys. He has not stopped playing the roulette because his punishment is not given to him. Where he punished, he would have not come back to Monaco. He would have not gone to the gaming house. Again he has come, again he goes to the playing house because he did not know, he was not punished. How did he live in the prison? They kept him in the prison, but this was not a punishment. He ate his food, he slept peacefully. Was it a punishment? No, it was not. But if his hands or legs were cut off, at least if his hands and legs were cut off, it would have become a punishment. But this is what goes on in democracy. Most of the criminals in the different areas of man's daily life, any kind of, they have sufficient opportunity to escape from the punishment. But this should not happen, and by this kind of maintenance, the society won't be happy. My request to you is, please live human life. Don't live animal life. You should learn to respect the laws and orders. You should learn to respect laws and orders. Don't involve into any unlawful activity. This is my request to you. If you fall into unlawful activities, if you learn bad habits, like chewing tobacco, eating siddu, etc., smoking, etc., it won't do anything good to you. Basically, you will lose your health, money, it would be lost, and your future would be in dark. So it is my request to you, please learn to respect your parents, learn to respect elderly people, listen to elderly people's kind advice. I hope that you are good to understand the value of my words, and you will do all the best. With this, the lesson is closed. Let us meet tomorrow. Thank you.